pepper gon' pop. Told my cap it's the CEO. Then I moonwalked in a UFO. Mike my shoes with a Christmas wreath. Dropping these bars while I brush my teeth. Flipping this verse like a boomerang. Landed on stage in your backpack filled with a new disease. Telling my doubts I'm hard to please. We don't care, we bounce on clouds. Sing off key and we're still too loud. Biscuit drops, the place explodes. Jumping through life in my pantyhose. Still no job, but I'm on the clock. And you can't stop me, cause don't stop. Hey ladies, oh, when you're hot, you're hot. Yeah, when you're not, you're not. Nope. Hey fellas, oh, when you're hot, you're hot. And I still enjoy the show. Yeah.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48. Built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Green Bay Packers. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Etienne to start the drive. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. You look at this Packers defense. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top.
Oh, his first throw of the game going to be intercepted. Inside the 10 and into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Now Cade York for the extra point. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Makes the score Packers 7, Vikings
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So I'm curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. but you got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap and again the ETN. And the big boys up front. They're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
Get set.
Purdy from the gun. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That certainly looks like nothing to show now from these first 2 possessions. And guess what? When you're on a losing streak, that can lead to a full sense of, here we go again. So on the sidelines, the offensive play callers, quarterback, they've got to get together and dial something up to start their next drive. Otherwise, it could be a long game.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Ready? Go!
They'll run here with a rookie. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
2nd and 2. Got his man, that's Luke Musgrave. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Packers. Luke Musgrave, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The York on now for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead.
14.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. They go down to a knee, and they'll begin at the 35-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's complete to Dobbs. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them rather than often.
First catch there for Evans. Good enough for a first down.
The Vikings
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Here's Purdy. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Purdy will look to throw again here. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 33. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Running out of the gun with ETN. And he stopped immediately there. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Part of their struggles last week was getting these negative plays on 1st and 2nd down. That's something they have to be wary of as this game continues.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
Get set. 18. Watch out.
Shotgun now with Purdy. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. You look at this Packers defense. They were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
Anytime you can hold a team to less than 10 points, your expectation of winning that game is sky high. In fact, you'd absolutely be stunned to come away with a loss.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Purdy. Open the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Get set.
Purdy looking to throw. And yet again, it's McLaurin. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
I think this is a Rob Wilson more as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Facing a 2nd and 3. Ball on the 10. ETN up the middle. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Vikings with the football here to begin the 2nd quarter, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up.
Get set.
Now Purdy. They'll try and set up the screen to ETN. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
A 34-yard attempt.
The kick by Bass is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the third drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far, finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5.
Ready? Nice. 60 Eagles. 60 Eagles. Ready?
From the gun, they'll try to run it. There's some space here. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. Those are the types of run, Charles, that they say this first-year running back can provide a lot more of in the future.
He made it look easy, didn't he? Picking up that first down. Some have described him as a diamond in the rough with a lot of polish, nice little buffing. This guy could be one of the top backs going forward.
Come on. Hey! Got me lying.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. The first down screen pass, good for 5. The Packers sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. They come in playing pretty good football, winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Open man is Musgrave, the tight end. Touchdown, Packers! Luke Musgrave, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Packers are able to add on to that lead. And he continues to be a focal point of this offense. That's now 10 touchdown catches for him on the year. York now for the extra point. And it's 21-3. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And no thought of bringing this one out. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll begin the drive at the 30. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Get set.
Purdy now to throw. Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Picked off by Micah Parsons. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Boy, we've seen a lot of mistakes here in this first half, and another there on the interception.
Yeah, they're certainly starting to pile up, aren't they? Because, let's face it, we expect a miscue here and there, but they're already down 3 scores and still giving the ball away. If they want to get back into this one, they've got to take care of the ball, because right now the way they're playing doesn't say a whole lot for their chances.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
From the 25, here's 2nd and 3.
Dragon 60. Drag. Hawk step. 19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Here we go. Here we go. Viking.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to have the Packers 1st down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows 1st down.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive.
Ready? 19. Here we go. Strike. Cowboy 80. Let go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That'll be taken in by Shaheed. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second down and a little more than a yard here.
Get it. Get it.
Now a handoff running through the middle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
One of the great things about most guys that play on the offensive line is that they have patience and extreme confidence in themselves. This group's gotten pushed around the entire game, haven't been able to move the ball very well. But after picking up a 1st down, running it there, they'll feel a little bit better about themselves going forward.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal.
60 Vikings. 60 Vikings. Ready.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's go now. 70 Timberwolf.
They'll look to throw here. Got a man, and he hits puts him in stride. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Ready? Cougar 19. Ready?
They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And it's caught. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. York able to send this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
18 Cardinal, 8, go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Now it's 2nd and 10.
Ready? Ready, right?
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's 3rd and a few inches.
Hawk 70, Hawk 7, ready? 19, ready?
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. 49 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you should have a few men in the box there.
And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end. That one a broken play, but it ends up being a good play. The scramble goes for 20.
The defense did its job of taking away a quick throw, but that's only half the battle because they've got to get to him before he can make a run for it. A little bit late containing him there, so he makes a nice gain out of a play that looked like it was in trouble.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
They're
going to look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. From 17 yards out. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. This to the back of the landing zone. He'll return it from the 1. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Purdy. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down. Well, still in the third quarter here. Now, you look at the scoreboard, that deficit probably a little too much to overcome, but completions like that may be something to build on for future weeks.
Yeah, it's all about ending things on a strong note here, isn't it? Because my mindset is it's a new ball game from here to the end. Make sure it's a good one and close it out.
Back to throw, Purdy. A short throw pulled in by Kincaid. On a gain of 3 on the play, and it's second down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. Throwing here, Purdy. Well, a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
Get set. 118. Watch out.
They'll look to throw again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
118. Watch out.
Back to throw again. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Now, that's just simply good coaching and excellent technique on that play. You know why? Because everyone wants to rush the passer when they want to throw the football, but you're not always going to get there. So what are you taught to do? When the ball's finally thrown, get your hands up in the passing lanes, and they batted that one away.
No. 2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. He'll look to throw. That is incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
If he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit. A lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
It certainly appears that he's been able to get a read on how they want to contain him in this game. He's seen some places where he can beat them in big spots, and right there, he slides in with ease for the first down.
Lambeau Field, one of the best home field advantages in the NFL, no doubt. And they're a happy bunch here as the Packers lead third quarter.
Ready.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. He'll go down as a gain of 6, and it'll be second down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
70 Timberwolves. Ready.
Second and 4. Out to the right here to Wilson. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that earns him a fresh set of downs.
First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Ready.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's second and 9.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you're worried about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Viking 18.
Second and 9 now. Now he's going to step up and run. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Okay, ready? Ready? Panther 6.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So from the 17 now, here's a first and 10.
Down, go.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers start to open this lead even wider here in the fourth. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
The Vikings take over first and 10. And they're on the 35-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter. And brought down approaching the 45-yard line. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
Yellow. 18, watch out.
Purdy will set up to throw it here. ETN bringing in another one. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 5. From the midfield stripe, they look to throw. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
On 1st and 10, it's ETN. And a little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Ball on the 39. Here's the 2nd and 8.
Get set, get set. 18, watch out.
Here's Purdy. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they put one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone. But the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8.
18, watch out.
Back to throw. Purdy. Look in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. Nice 3rd down conversion and even 20 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Back to the ground with ETN. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
2nd down and 4. Purdy looking to throw. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And the Packers force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. 84 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Here we go, here we go. Hot 70, hot 70. Ready,
Right back to him on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. You don't see that a ton, do you? A cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Second and 10.
Let's go now. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
At this point, this offense feels like they can just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Ready.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Here's a ball deep from Musgrave. And this one is incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On second down, they'll run it here. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Tag. Ready.
Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Short completion, just 4 yards. And it'll be second down.
19.
So it's all over. A Green Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half.